Hi, I'm Castiel, the librarian rat, and I used Linux for a year as a VTuber. Here's my experience, so maybe I can help you out. I started using Linux Mint with Plasma by KDE the end of May last year. This video is about my experience with my version of Linux. Different Linux versions might have different experiences. Now, I do have a Windows partition for two things that I needed that weren't Linux compatible. A partition is kind of like tape to cut off a certain area of your drive in order to have something else there. So for me, it was Windows. First of all, I needed Photoshop. I'm a photographer. And DaVinci Resolve. Editing videos is a must. And I refused to learn a new program. Other than those, everything I've done has been in Linux. So, how was it? Why am I going back to Windows? If I told you that, you wouldn't stay, now would you? But how did I do it? Lots of tears and troubleshooting. Let's have a quick start with some of your best friends in the Linux world. When it comes to streaming, your default transparencies for things like VTube Studio do not exist. Chroma keys are going to be your best friend. You'll have a couple other things to learn as well. Your most simple one is going to be ProtonDB. This website will be your holy grail. Just about any game you want to play will be there, with a rating from platinum to bronze on how well it works on Linux. And other people can rate it and give insight on how they got their game working on their Linux version. Your backup, though, is going to be called the Heroic Launcher. This uses something called Wine to sort of trick programs to think that they're running on Windows if they struggle on Linux. For your games that you like to run with mods, like Lethal Company or Repo or even Peak, the Thunderstore app isn't really existent. Try R2 Modman. It functions just about the same. You're probably wondering about the differences now as well. And for my version, Plasma is genuinely diet Windows. When I originally switched over, I wanted to have something that was still familiar to me. And at a quick glance, it genuinely looks like a Windows machine. I have a hotbar and desktop icons, and it gives the cozy comfort of Windows, but the privacy and no AI of Linux. The difference comes in with everything else. OBS will need a little extra love and understanding. You no longer have your game captures. It's all Windows or display captures. It makes things a little hectic to look through if you have a lot going on. Audio's also a little weird, but I use something called Pipewire to make it work. Installs are no longer exe files. They're special ones made specifically for Linux called deb files. I recently cleaned out my downloads, but every Discord update is a new one. If you use the Blizzard launcher for anything, sorry, champ. I had to move my Overwatch 2 install to Steam because I could not get the Battle.net launcher to work with me. I would also like to apologize to any League players, just in general. But also, the Riot launcher hates Linux because of their anti-cheat. Some games also need Proton to run. It's just as simple as adjusting the compatibility within Steam, usually. So what about the learning curve? Switching operating systems. I have to admit, I got very lucky. I have multiple years of IT schooling under my belt. I went to a vocational school for part of my high school curriculum, and I learned a lot about troubleshooting and working with computers. But I also have a spouse that daily runs Linux. If I beat my head against a problem for a couple hours, I could hand it off to him. And not everyone can do that. I know I'm lucky to have someone to help me out. So, what happened? What changed? When I first made the switch in May of 2024, my streams were pretty bare bones. It was me, my 2.0 model, and a few Stream Elements web sources. But I did a lot of upgrades, and I debuted my 3.0 in November of 2024, adding even more to my streams, which added a lot of learning, a lot of frustration, and a lot of help. I just wanted to make it work. I really, really fell in love with Linux. The downfall started in May 2025, this year. Just about a year into the journey. I did my 3.5 debut, which is what you're looking at now. And I started my subathon, switching from VC Face 3D model to a live 2D models. I had a lot of them. I was growing. I was learning even more. I added even more to my streams. And I wanted to do more. I started running Mix It Up on my work laptop just because I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more edited content, like this video you're watching. And more games had problems. And unironically, the straw that broke the camel's back, I got a stream deck to help with growing the things I was doing. My biggest thing with that is I wanted the VTube Studio plugin to have easier redeems. I have a plethora of models, and I wanted to be able to switch between them easier. And my pause and play functions, and my different outfit toggles. And it wasn't compatible. I got a dream item, and I couldn't use it. It was a glorified function key keyboard. And that was it. I tried so hard. I learned so much. Changed so much to love Linux. And I did. But for convenience sake, I sadly have to go back to Windows. I'm chronically ill, and I cannot keep stressing about these things. There are things I temporarily gave up trying because it wasn't Linux compatible, and I can't keep doing it. Would I still, even after all that, recommend Linux? Genuinely. If I wasn't a VTuber, yeah, I would never leave. I absolutely love my time with Linux. But the streaming struggle with VTubing is my only true problem. My spouse daily runs Linux and uses it at work, and he will never go back. In a few years, I might try again, but for now, I will be going back to Windows 10. My Linux journey has come to a temporary end. If you enjoy co-working streams or friend swap, I stream over on Twitch. I also upload those VODs over on my VODs channel. If you like art, I'm a full-time artist. I work off of VJet. I plan to post a variety of things here, so stay tuned. Maybe subscribe, like the video, comment, ring the bell. Tell me how much I'm stupid for using Linux. Thank you for watching. I'm Castiel, your time deity. Have a good night.